Hello, welcome to Tuesdays Not Today with me, Al Booth. I hope you're well, thank you for being here. This is what's happening on the show for you today. We are going to be hearing how a new public restaurant will be piloted in Nottingham to improve public health and provide people with high quality food. The scheme is part of a project to bring in public infrastructure, a bit like a library, but where people can get food in an easily accessible and healthy way. We're going to catch up with the University of Nottingham expert behind that shortly. And we'll be heading to White Post Farm to meet the twin armadillos who are joining the huge collection of farm animals.
The babies are so cute. We've known about them for a while but only announced them last night on socials and everyone loves them. People go mad for a baby, so hopefully we'll be doing a naming competition soon for them as well.
And later on we'll be meeting some of the artists behind an upcoming stage adaptation of Legally Blonde that is coming to Nottingham. The bold and high energy show will take over Nottingham's Arts Theatre in September. We'll meet some of the Bingham Musical Theatre Company in just a bit. And apparently even practice one of the dances maybe. We'll also have an update on 100 new homes on a former Notts Colliery site that's taken a step closer. Properties will be built on the land of the former Clipston pit where the iconic headstocks still stand. Later on we'll hear why they're now closer to construction getting underway. And in sport, we'll hear from Stags boss Nigel Clough after the club continued their unbeaten pre-season by coming from 3 goals down to draw with Middlesbrough.
So it's more the principle of how we want to play. Let's say we started the game well doing it, where you've got to be brave and you've got to push people on.
More coming up just for you. First though, let's talk about how food could become more accessible to us in Nottingham as part of a pilot project to launch a public restaurant. The project is aimed at improving public health and well-being by offering access to high quality food with a facility to open that's similar to libraries and keeps costs low for the public. Nottingham will get one of these facilities alongside another that is being trialled in Dundee next spring. Dr. Simon Wellham from the University of Nottingham's Division of Food, Nutrition and Dietetics is here now to tell us more. Hello.
Hello.
What is a public restaurant? How does it work like a library?
So essentially what these are, they stem from an idea that happened during the war when they were rolled out and they were supported by the government at that time to provide people who were struggling with a more nutritious food options available to them. And it's sort of based on that premise, but what we're now trying to do is establish whether or not that is a useful paradigm to follow. And so we've won this research money, so there's been some discussion in the media about it being government funded. Just to clarify, it's only government funded from the perspective of the fact that we've got a grant that the government gives to research councils. So I could have been doing a vaccine development, same sort of principle. And so we've got a limited amount of time to trial a restaurant which will be aimed at allowing everybody to get access to freshly cooked, locally sourced food that's relatively simple and offers the breadth of diets, capacity to feed people from different dietary backgrounds at a much more affordable price. So along the lines of a fast food type chain pricing. So there's a lot to do, and we are aiming to establish these in the spring of 26. So in both locations, in Dundee and in Nottingham. And in so doing, we're trying to determine whether there's potentially a beneficial impact on people's ability to make dietary choices better, and whether that facilitates change in their own dietary patterns.
Right, okay. So how does it work then in terms of, anyone can come up and use it? Or?
Yes, absolutely. It's not for any particular group, it's for everybody. So we were talking about our kids earlier and how difficult it is to choose or have the time to make decisions and say, I'll cook that for them and I know they'll like that and that's something I'll feed them. For many of us, and it's true of me as well, I like to try new things because I tend to have a set of recipes that I know work, but it gets boring and they get bored of it. So you try something and then the perennial, I don't like it. Oh God. So I've just bought that food, I've made the food, we've got a family's worth of meals and then you've got to come up with something else to feed them that evening. So what it's hoped for in some respects is that it gives people an opportunity in an affordable way of experiencing different foods that they are not necessarily going to be faced with the challenge of I don't like it. I've already spent all that money on ingredients, and I've got tons for the next 2 weeks because you didn't like it. So it kind of gives people a chance to try these things out.
Okay, well, I'm glad that's not just happening in my home.
Yeah, to everybody.
Yeah, that's good to know. So in terms of that then, so we come along to the restaurant. Like most restaurants, you look at the menu, you go, that looks great, and it gets presented to you. You've got no idea how it's made, really. Is it an educational thing as well then?
So these are points of discussion. Essentially, the setup is intended. We haven't finalised how we're going to do it. So these are all discussions that are going on with community groups, with restaurateurs. We want to make sure we don't negatively impact local businesses and other members of the community. So young people particularly. There's something we're very keen on is that it's acceptable for teenagers. I mean, they'll go in some places, but they'll definitely not go in others. Yeah. So if you can take the family in this place, that'll be great. And it will probably follow broadly the lines of an IKEA-style canteen where you can see the food. Whether or not they'll be able to see it being prepared, that's determined by the nature of the facility that we can get. So that's the next stage of the project, is to try and find a place in the city that is suitable for this kind of intervention. And hopefully there will be the facility to provide training for people in terms of a kind of chef running a facility like that. So there are training opportunities. We just need to establish how to go about doing that. And that's essentially part of the project. So all of these things are being investigated for the course of this research project.
So it's not like a restaurant opening where you turn up and it's all done. It's all ongoing. It's all part of the bigger picture then.
So once it's established, then there'll be a protocol that's being followed every day. A new menu will be generated every day by people cooking it in-house. And as much as possible, it'll be locally sourced food. So we will have relationships with local producers, primary producers, so farmers, etc., to try and make sure that what's produced is locally relevant, culturally relevant, and seasonally appropriate as well.
Fantastic.
The hope.
What's not to love? So it starts in 2026. So
yes.
Hopefully we can talk to you as it goes on.
Absolutely. So when it's launched, hopefully you can pop along.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming in. It's fascinating. Now, White Post Farm has just welcomed its first ever set of armadillo twins to the exotic animal collection. They were born just in time for the summer holidays as well. That's worked out well. The farm's hoping the pair will be an invaluable introduction to nature for many young people all across Nottinghamshire. They also want you to get involved in naming them. Lucy Marshall has been to see them.
They've got shells, snouts and a very big appetite. Meet White Post Farm's newest arrivals. These baby armadillos are the first twins to be born here at White Post Farm, and they're already stealing hearts and rolling into headlines. Just a few weeks old and already a double act, the tiny two are part of the farm's exotic animal collection. An exotic animal keeper, Katie Curtis Hayes, says it's the perfect time to teach young minds about these little legends.
This is the first time we've ever had twin armadillos, which is very exciting. So a few years ago, about 2 years ago, our armadillos, Matilda and Ahmed, had their first baby, Delilah, and now their baby has had babies of her own. We just don't know if they're boys or girls yet, but yeah, very exciting that we've had twins. When I was little, I went to the zoo and saw an animal that I loved, and now that's why I do what I do. So I think it's important to show an array of animals, because not all children like the cute, fluffy animals. Sometimes they like the weird and wonderful stuff like the armadillos.
Armadillos are known for their tough armours, but these two are soft, snuggly and anything but shy. Born just in time for the school holidays, they're already the new faces of one of Nottinghamshire's most loved family attractions.
So we've always, since having our zoo licence, tried to get more exotic animals because it just brings more people in from far and wide, and they just learn more about the animals, about conservation, because at the end of the day it's the younger generation that will carry it on into the future. The babies are so cute. We've known about them for a while but only announced them last night on socials, and everyone loves them. People go mad for a baby, so hopefully we'll be doing a naming competition soon for them as well.
With schools breaking up this Friday, staff are bracing for the crowds, and the duo are raring to meet them too. Lucy Marshall for Notts TV.
Don't say much, do they? Right, time for some other Notts news now, and police are appealing for information after a motorcyclist died in a crash. Emergency services were called to Alfreton Road in Underwood about 8 o'clock on Sunday evening after reports of a crash involving a motorbike and 2 cars. The rider of a bike, a 38-year-old man, was taken to hospital with serious injuries but died a short time later. The road was shut overnight but has since reopened. Police say anybody in the area who saw a Harley-Davidson bike, a Volvo and a Bentley should call them on 101. And a police officer who jumped into a river to save a suspect from drowning has been praised by Nottinghamshire Police. PC John Chappell jumped into the River Trent in Newark to help a suspect he believed was linked to a shop robbery last Thursday. The suspect had jumped into the water to evade capture but was seen neck deep in the water shouting for help. PC Chappell acted and prevented him from drowning, and then after being given the all clear, the 37-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of 2 shop thefts and a robbery. And police have asked for help after a very violent street fight in Nottingham city centre left a man with life-altering injuries. Officers were called to Alfreton Road before midnight on July the 2nd after a fight left a man with a serious head injury. 4 men were charged with offences including attempted murder and violent disorder. Nottinghamshire Police have launched a separate CCTV appeal. They say they want to speak with the 2 people pictured as part of the investigation, and if you can help them, you should call them on 101. Right, coming up for you, we have got your sport roundup, and we're also going to be meeting the performers bringing Legally Blonde to the Nottingham stage. I might even have a go at one of the dance numbers. We'll find out next. Hello, welcome back to Tuesday's show. I'm Al. Thank you for being here with me. This is what's happening in Notts today. Homes will now be built on the site of the former Clipston Colliery after developers' contributions were finalised. Developer Harper Crew first submitted its plans for more than 120 homes in May 2023. However, it's taken until this month for the large project to be formally approved because of a wait for community contributions. Papers approved this month reveal $150,000 will be spent on bus service improvements and $174,000 on improving Clipston's infrastructure. $90,000 will be for education and $123,000 for medical services. And Gedling Borough Council will ask residents for their thoughts on its new local plan, setting out where thousands of homes could be built. The Labour Run Authority had previously been working with neighbouring councils in the Greater Nottingham area, and that was to draw up large-scale homes plans, but they withdrew from the project to focus on their own borough. A public consultation on the project, which sets out sites for new homes, employment, retail, community facilities and other land projects, will run until early September. Now, Legally Blonde is making its way to Nottingham's Arts Theatre later this year. The stage adaptation of the 2001 comedy film that follows Elle Woods, a sorority girl whose attempt to win back her ex-boyfriend by getting a degree at Harvard Law School, sees her overcome stereotypes against blondes and triumph as a lawyer. Sorry for the spoiler. The project is being put on by the Bingham Musical Theatre Company, and here now to tell us all about it are director Dom Mills, choreographer Charlotte Clay and actor Riley Halls-Backler. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
This is exciting. So this is like Bingham Musical Arts going out, isn't it? Like leaving Bingham for...
Yeah, definitely. We've taken a big step and we thought it's the right time to go, find something new, find something different and bring in a wider audience, wider cast, and try and bring in as much collaboration as we can in the local area of Nottingham.
Fantastic. So why this production then? Why Legally Blonde?
I think it was just such a diverse show. We've got such great calibre of people in Nottingham that we can have so many different people of ages, abilities part of the show. That can just really show a true diverse community project. So why not celebrate with Legally Blonde?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, as choreographer,
Yes.
what's it been like to put together?
Oh, it's been so much fun. Everyone's so nice. And it's really upbeat, which I was a ballet dancer before, so it's completely different for me, but it's so much fun. And we all kind of put in our own spin. Like, obviously I make the dances, but if they want to change something, and honestly, they're teaching me more than I know because it all works together and it's just so fun. Everyone's great. I love it. Yeah.
I mean, you say when you came in, you come in the studio, there's such a chemistry between the three of you. Riley, so you're on the stage, aren't you?
Yeah.
We've got director, choreographer, but you're there in the spotlight. Tell us about your character.
So I play Emmett Forrest, who is Harvard graduate, is associate working with Callahan, who's this big-time lawyer who also works at Harvard. And he kind of becomes this sort of mentor for Elle and takes her under her wing slightly when she's kind of struggling with figuring out who she's going to be. And then maybe that blossoms into something else. Who's to say?
No spoilers.
No spoilers yet.
I know. Well, I think everyone's seen the film. I was like, because I saw it when it came out, and I suspect you were maybe barely even born at that time. But I've got to such an age now I've forgotten it, so that's great. It's like seeing it for the first time. So how does it differ for other projects? I mean, taking it out of Bingham and going into the Arts Centre, how in itself is that different?
We're working with a lot. We're working with the same ingredients in a different kitchen, as I would like to say it.
Nice.
We're making the same food. We just need to prepare it differently.
Oh, you're really going with this analogy.
We really are, because we have such a high standard in the past, and we have kept that high standard consistent. We just need to keep it there in town, and I think we really are capable of doing that with the calibre of people we've got in this cast, and in the creative team producing it. Charlotte's incredible, my musical director AJ, assistant director Karen. I've got such a brilliant team who are helping to bring this alive. It differs from other projects we've done before in the size. It is so much bigger. It's a professional production at an amateur scale, I like to put it. I'm trying to give them the best opportunities that I possibly can to work with a professional team on a professional stage.
It's very exciting. Just listening to you guys, it's very exciting. So right, you've been in this before as well. You've played a different character.
Yeah, so I did it at uni in 2022. That's kind of where I started doing like Amdram stuff. I'd never really done it before because I went to uni in 2021. So just after COVID, wanted to find something to do. Amdram, coming from like a drama family, was like perfect. So it's a real like full circle now, because when I did it before, I was basically in like the ensemble of people, and now I get to be number one. I just found out that I'm number 2 on the mic sheet, which is really exciting to losers like me.
Right, okay, that's a big deal then.
Yeah.
Oh wow, congratulations.
Thank you. But it's
breaking news. There you go, hot off the press.
Exclusive there for everybody.
Now, I think I'm told by Lucy, who's producing and talking my ear throughout the whole show, that bend and snap is that the big thing?
Oh yeah.
Have you got time to teach me how to do that? Just even briefly.
Yeah, go on.
Because I'm up to that. Come on.
Right, so first, we're going to choose everyone's better with the right foot. So you're going to bring it forward.
Yeah.
You keep your back as flat as possible. You bend all the way down, bringing your arms all the way down.
Oh, flipping neck.
And you snap up. But when you when you snap up,
hold on, let's come back because you can't see us doing it. Sorry.
You need to pop your other leg. Shall I go here?
You go there.
Oh, there you go. So you bend down.
Yep.
Bend. And snap.
That's like Thriller.
You maybe less T-Rex, but you're getting there.
Yeah, that was very T-Rexy. Thank you. I mean, do you need any more for your ensemble? Do you need I guess very quiet over there. I thought at least some humouring, but no, that's how bad it was.
No, I mean, we were
quickly tell us, sorry, because the professionals here. When can we see it? When can we come and see it?
We're on Nottingham Arts Theatre between the 24th to the 27th of September.
Book your tickets.
Yes, book your tickets. I will not be in it, so it will be a thoroughly professional performance. Thank you for that. Right, elsewhere on the channel, we recently aired the latest episode of the Notts TV debate. Fran Finn is on your screens, chewing over the big issues hitting the local, the international scene, the national scene, all that sort of stuff. She's joined by a panel of guests who this month are talking about many things, including West Forest City Ground expansion, and what's that all about?
And the way you deal with the demand is get in at the start before that demand occurs.
No one would disagree, but what's the reality?
That takes politicians, that takes leadership to be able to look at those issues and deal with their civil servants. And we haven't got that.
A wider issue to dealing with. And that is obviously putting more investment in at the early stages, preventing people from getting to the stage where they have to rely, on.
I think this is a wider issue, though, isn't it? Because I do agree with you that there is. The welfare bill is too expensive, and so you can't carry on with the amount of people that are are wanting to claim PIP, you can't do that. I think
there are 9, just to come in, sorry, and carry on please, but there are 9 million economically inactive adults in the nation. So it's that as well. It's not just, oh, we've got too many benefits to pay. It's how can we get more people in the workplace?
It's the Kenny Badenoch issue, isn't it? The rider is now bigger than the horse.
Right, it's time for your sports now, and we'll start with Mansfield Town. They've continued their unbeaten start to pre-season by holding Championship giants Middlesbrough to a 3-3 draw at Field Mill. The Stags fought back from 3 goals down to earn the draw in an entertaining friendly. Second half goals came from midfielder Nathan Mariah Welsh, fullback Stephen McLaughlin, and a late penalty equaliser as well from Jordan Bowery to seal the point. Speaking after the match, manager Nigel Clough, whose dad played for Middlesbrough, said it was a brave second half performance from his side.
Well, we got more on the front foot in the second half. I think Jamie had just come in from one day yesterday, and we want him to be pushed on a little bit. And at times we have to be brave and go man to man. We did that in the second half more. It coincided probably with them, bringing a few off. But we got back into the game at that point, and we'd started the game well, even against their more first choice side. So it's more the principle of how we want to play. We started the game well doing it, where you've got to be brave and you've got to push people on. And Ryan Sweeney needs to understand that. Kyle Noyle in the back three, Bailey, and occasionally you're going to get caught out. But I think we get the benefit at the other end of the pitch.
Now, Notts County have confirmed that they are going to release their 2025 home kit this coming Friday. Magpies have already unveiled their away kit from the upcoming season. There's a lovely green number. And they say their new home strip will be released at 10 o'clock on Friday morning. If you're a season ticket holder, you can get it straight away. The home kit, though, will then go on general sale on Saturday morning ahead of the side's pre-season friendly with Cardiff. Nottingham Forest have arrived in Portugal ahead of their pre-season tour. The Reds have travelled to South Portugal for a training camp ahead of 2 key pre-season fixtures. Firstly, against fellow Premier League side Fulham in Faro on Saturday evening, and then they face Estoril Praia in Albufeira next Wednesday evening. They return to England after that, ahead of a trip to Championship New Boys Birmingham on August the 2nd, and then 2 pre-season matches will go ahead at the City Ground as well before the new season all kicks off. Fantasy football's been released and everything, it's getting closer. Right, let's have a look at your picture of the day now. This gorgeous shot was taken by Ian Stevens over at the Lawnmaster Notts. Thanks, Ian. That is of an insect, I don't know which one. You can get your photo on the telly, Notts_TV on the socials if you want to do that. I'm going to say cricket, I don't know. Now in your weather, it was a wet start today, wasn't it? But it's cleared up throughout the day. Highs this evening of 19, dropping to just 15 overnight. Tomorrow, it's going to get slightly warm. It's still dead muggy. Highs of 23 and lows of 16 into Thursday, which is pretty much going to be a replica. Highs of 23, which is still quite warm, isn't it? It's nice. It's not too hot, it's nice. You can get up to stuff when it's 23, can't you? Right, thank you for being with me today. Remember, you saw the debate earlier. You can see it at nottstv.com. Mark Dennison's with you tomorrow. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.